Ever wondered why people go on killing sprees?
Are you interested in exploring the paranormal?
Baffled by stories of previous lives?
Well, so are we.
In each episode, we'll be discussing the weird and wonderful stories of some truly confusing phenomenons and some horrific true crime cases.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok and join us every Tuesday wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And be prepared to be totally and utterly perplexed.
Omaha Steaks makes it easy to keep great food on hand, so dinner time is simple and convenient. And right now, you can get 12 free burgers and free shipping for life when you shop at omahasteaks.com/onrepeat. Only Omaha Steaks gives you the freedom to set your menu your way with no commitments. Choose extra-aged, hand-carved steaks, plump and juicy air-chilled chicken, and so much more. Order once or set up recurring shipments for more savings, more convenience, and inflation-proof pricing. Want to change your menu? No problem. Swap items, skip a shipment, or cancel at any time with no questions asked. You're in control to get what you want when you want it, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. At Omaha Steaks, it's all about you. Visit omahasteaks.com/onrepeat to sign up for recurring shipments and get 12 free burgers, a $431 per year value, and free shipping for life. Minimum purchase may apply. See site for details.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Welcome back to Two Judgy Girls. I'm Mary from the Bay.
And I'm Courtney from LA. TJG is the podcast where we spill all the tea on your favorite reality TV shows, celebrity gossip, and everything in between. We're here to bring you our unfiltered opinions, hilarious commentary, and plenty of laughs along the way.
We're two SDSU Delta Gamma sisters with a microphone and a whole lot of opinions. Each week, we dive headfirst into the wild world of reality television, from Bravo to all the trash TV you could want. We break down the drama, dissect the latest scandals, and share our thoughts on everything from the jaw-dropping moments to the embarrassing antics.
But that's not all. We're not here to just gossip. We're here to connect with you, the jurors, and share our love of all things pop culture. Whether we're dishing on the latest celebrity breakups, discussing our favorite guilty pleasure movies, or sharing embarrassing stories from our own lives, we promise to keep it real, keep it fun, and keep you coming back for more.
Come judge with us.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
Say It Ain't So. I'm Jason Horton.
I'm Rebecca Lieb.
And this is Ghost Town.
On April 8th, 2025, California Highway Patrol officers pursued 3 suspects who had fled the scene of a misdemeanor hit and run. The chase took PD to Eagle Rock, California, where they encountered a new individual, 51-year-old Jillian Lauren, who inexplicably shot back at police. As the bizarre headlines emerged, those interested in the incident realized that there was much more to this 4th perpetrator. Jillian Lauren was an author, mother, former harem member, burlesque dancer, experimental theater actor, former sex worker, and current cancer battler. And also, kind of randomly, the wife of Weezer's bassist, Scott Schreiner. Today on Ghost Town, a deep dive into the intriguing life and near death of Jillian Lauren. Jillian Lauren Schreiner was born on August 16, 1973 in Livingston, New Jersey. From a young age, she enjoyed the arts and decided that she wanted to become an actor when she grew up. As a teenager, Lauren moved to New York City, where she briefly studied experimental theater at NYU, immersing herself in the city's theatrical culture. While working odd jobs and performing, she began waitressing at a strip club called the Kit Kat Club, and eventually started dancing there. Soon, a fellow actor friend approached Lauren with a different proposition, being a high-end escort. Lauren was 18 years old and the prospect intrigued her. Once she began, she became, in her own words on Mark Maron's podcast, quote, very good at it. She says in her WTF interview with Maron that her history of sexual abuse, self-harm, eating disorders, and conflict with her father likely paved the way for her excelling at sex work and her ability to disassociate while spending her time with clients. From there, her friend told her that there was an opportunity to audition for a part in an overseas movie in Singapore, and while she took the audition with a grain of salt, she got a callback. There, she was told that there actually wasn't a movie, but a job as a kind of valued guest of Prince Jeffrey Bolkiah, brother of the Sultan of Brunei, who was at that point the richest man in the world. It would be $20,000 for around 2 weeks of work. The quote, work wasn't fully defined at that point. Broke and intrigued, Lauren said yes. From her book, Some Girls, My Life in a Harem, Lauren said, quote, more realistically, I had suspected I had signed on to be an international quasi-prostitute. There are worse things I could do. She goes on to say that, quote, I had prepared my parents for the fact that I was leaving town that day. I told them that I had gotten an important acting role in a movie, but that it was shooting in Singapore and I had to leave right away. While they later asked about my big break, I planned to tell them that my role had been cut. I justified my lies to my parents by imagining that I would make them come true and they would no longer be lies. Okay, the fantasy movie in Singapore probably wouldn't happen, but my soon-to-be stardom would overshadow it, and all of this would be rendered irrelevant. In 1992, Lauren flew business class to Brunei, where she lived on the grounds of the royal estate with other young women, including Sheila, a former Penthouse Pet of the Year, and Fiona, a former TV actress from the Philippines, whom Jeffrey had first seen on television. The prince had many wives and many girlfriends, and had people waiting on the girls hand and foot. The women, in turn, had to come to nightly parties and entertain the prince and his guests. One girl would typically leave the party with Prince Jeffrey for some time, or see the prince at his office, where he was the head of the country's financial affairs. According to her book, Lauren quickly rose through the ranks to become Jeffrey's number 2 girlfriend, leading her to meet the Sultan in person, as well as to travel abroad with Jeffrey's entourage. She only had to sleep with the prince and the Sultan, she said to Mark Maron in her interview, but she felt a kinship for Prince Jeffrey, even feeling like she was at one point in love with him. For years, she went back and forth to Brunei, though once she left the first time, she never regained her previous status. Eventually, however, she left for good, coming back to New York. She never talked to Prince Jeffrey after that, but decided to finally move on with her life. She even started dating and began concentrating on a new art form, writing. Lauren then got a Master of Fine Arts degree in creative writing from Antioch University and began being published in LA Magazine, Elle, and Salon. Meanwhile, she also joined a burlesque troupe where she met her eventual husband, Scott Schreiner. Though she struggled with substance abuse back in the U.S., it fueled her writing. In 2010, she published a book about her experiences with Prince Jeffrey called Some Girls, My Life in a Harem, which was actually banned in Brunei. Shortly after that, she published 2 books, the 2011 novel Pretty and 2015's Everything You Ever Wanted. Later, Lauren and Schreiner also embarked on a parenting journey after they moved to Los Angeles, adopting 2 sons beginning in 2009. In an interview with Later Moms, Lauren said about parenthood, quote, on paper, I might not be considered the best candidate for motherhood. My husband Scott and I had a long and circuitous road to parenting, including the whole painful infertility thing. We eventually found the right path for us and adopted our son from Ethiopia. In our early years of parenting, I put a lot of pressure on myself to be very, very good in order to make up for my scandalous past. This was supposed to be my redemption story. What I found instead is that being a good mother wasn't so much about transcending my past, but rather about drawing from my entire range of experiences and learning to embrace the imperfections. Ever a fan of true crime, Lauren published her own true crime book in 2023 called Behold the Monster, Facing America's Most Prolific Serial Killer, based on her extensive interviews with serial killer Samuel Little, who was convicted of 8 murders but confessed to committing 93 murders between 1970 and 2005. her work attempted to seek justice for Little's victims and explored the mind of Little himself. The next year or so was uneventful for the writer until March 2025, when Lauren revealed via her social media that she was battling cancer. From her Instagram, quote, "I'd like to thank the Academy, my amazing hair and makeup team, and the lighting designers here at Glendale Adventist Hospital. As if they all hadn't been through enough with the fires right next door. Yes, I have a little bit of the C word, y'all. I know a lot of us do. I'm here to thank the incredible oncology team here who pulled me through a complicated operation without a hitch. I am always so grateful for every second of the compassionate and excellent medical care I received in my life. Thank you to all the remarkable healthcare workers who take our lives in your hands. And let's all breathe." In a turn that I don't think anyone saw coming, weeks later, bizarre headlines emerged over nearly every publication, implicating Lauren in a violent attempted murder. Jillian Lauren Schreiner, wife of Weezer bassist, shot by police and arrested for attempted murder in LA. Weezer bassist wife diagnosed with cancer was recovering from hysterectomy when shot by police. And days before Weezer set to play Coachella, bassist Scott Schreiner's wife shot by LAPD. Jillian Lauren's colorful life continues after this break.
Hey, this is Naomi Ekperigan, co-host of the podcast Couples Therapy. I wanted to talk to you about Boost Mobile, the newest 5G network in the country. Boost Mobile's new network delivers customers the speed and service they'd expect from the big three, plus groundbreaking benefits you'd only get from a true challenger in the industry, like letting people try the network risk-free for 30 days, and offering a $25 per month unlimited plan that's guaranteed to never go up in price. So visit your nearest Boost Mobile store or find them online at boostmobile.com.
Under Biden, Americans' cost of living skyrocketed. Food, housing, auto insurance. Lawsuit abuse is a big reason everything's more expensive today. Frivolous lawsuits cost working Americans over $4,000 a year in hidden taxes. President Trump understands the problem. That's why he supports loser pays legislation to stop lawsuit abuse and put thousands back in the pockets of hardworking Americans. It's time to make America affordable again. It's time to support the president's plan.
Before we get into the break, which is everyone's favorite part of the episodes, that's the feedback we get. Is everyone loves the break. They say more break, less content.
Yeah, they're like, actually, can you lengthen the break?
But this is a timely episode, which we normally don't do.
Yes.
I guess my algorithm is very keyed into to Weezer based, I guess, news. So remember I got this, and then because you're more inclined to find timely things and do them. But that
also
Weezer
things
pipeline,
from the 1600s. So
yes,
it's really both.
Yeah,
it's really all of it.
It's really both. Nothing in the middle.
No.
The Weezer pipeline goes through old white guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's right in my wheelhouse. So I was like, God, this is really strange. And it kept popping up. So I sent to Rebecca and she's like, yeah, it's really, really, really strange. And then didn't really think much of it. But then there was like more articles that came out that made everything more complex.
Mm-hmm.
So just sending articles back to each other.
Yeah.
And Rebecca's like, let's just do this one.
It's so, well, yeah. And again, you don't really know how information will be revealed as an investigation unfolds. And this one, it felt like a docu. I was like, okay. And then this happened and this, and then it's like, what? It's like one thing after the next. Really, the least interesting thing is that she's the wife of a Weezer bandmate.
It's the absolute least interesting. That's what I was going to say. The least interesting part of this person is being married to the bass player, the third bass player, by the way.
Yes, but a long-term one.
The most long-term one, but not on the first three albums, which to me are the most canon.
Yes.
And the rest of it's like, whatever. I don't really care. And not that matters, but the bass player of Weezer should be known as the husband of this
Jillian
author.
Lauren.
And I figure it's the opposite. So it's so interesting. I was like, I would never know. Like, I would never think of what's the bass player of Weezer's wife. What's she up to in general? You would never know that. And you're like, wow, what an interesting, like, rock stars and interesting people that have their own cachet do end up meeting. So it's not that strange that people meet up in these interesting circumstances. But also very interesting that, like, because was coming back from Phoenix and driving through Indio in this Coachella, and it's just interesting that they played at Coachella, and he's just like, yeah, all good. See y'all at Coachella. Wear your sunscreen. I thought that was, and there's probably a lot of complex things going on. You don't know the state of their relationship, and also the show must go on.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting way for Weezer. It really probably clouds in for some people. Weezer performing at Coachella, it's like your wife just got shot and is like on the hook for potentially attempted murder.
And if you haven't read the headlines, you will hear that after this break. What's happening?
So you'll it's gonna get. Did I just spoil it?
If people are totally ignorant of what's happening, yes.
And if you're listening to the break right now, thank you. Anyway,
yeah. I mean, there's more details that we get into, and I mean, I think what's so compelling too is the why, which you'll get to hypothesize about as you listen to the rest of the episode,
and then maybe
maybe we'll do a follow up. That'd be really interesting. But yeah, I think it's a hard line to talk about these people who are really successful and really intelligent and talented in their own right. And their histories are really dynamic. And then like things happen to them and you're like, whoa, like what? Why? What's happening right now? And like, what does it mean? It's very complicated.
Also, I wanted to plug myself because I always, I don't really like to do it, but my hand is forced. But if you watch on HBO Max, Hollywood Demons, about the Power Rangers, Curse of the Power Rangers, you might think, I think that was a Ghost Town episode.
It was.
I think that was a Ghost Town episode.
It was.
They used a YouTube clip of me talking about it on YouTube, so you can see that. I'm only halfway through this show, but there's a clip of me in the beginning, and then there's a clip of me at the end, looking very different than I do now. I feel like when I looked at it, I was like, "Wow!" People messaged me, like, "Did I see you on Hollywood Demon, Curse of the Power Rangers?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, maybe." And I was in Phoenix when it was happening, so I didn't get a chance to see it. And then somebody sent me a screen grab. I was like, "Yikes! Looks bad on the big screen. Looks bad." HBO, can't you do something with your
like a little less filters? High res over here?
Can you give me like a White Lotus filter? Like, what's up? What is up? But if you want to see me for a couple of seconds, or if you watch that, you will see me for a couple of seconds, looking rough. Looking real rough. Looking real rough.
That's right. We're all. I don't think anyone likes how they look when we do these like talking head things, like ever.
Because like the History Channel stuff.
Oh God,
they at least are.
No, not for me. They give me the worst. The lighting just makes me look 4,000 years old. I'm just like an old crone talking about Mao. It's just like what is this old white woman doing here? Why is she look like she's in a warehouse?
I ask that question every single day. What's this old white woman doing here? Like in the cosmic sense.
In a cosmic sense, that's right.
And I'm like, I'm glad they're here.
Yeah, good. Well, I mean, lesson learned. We cover it on the podcast before they make a show about it 4 years later.
I mean, I believe that we're part of the zeitgeist that was like, I'm sure somebody was doing research, found the YouTube video, found the Ghost Town episode, and we're like, oh, hey, there's something. And, there's tons of articles, not that there's tons of stuff out there. And they actually, I'm halfway through this episode, and it's like, there's even more weird stuff. There's a lot of weird stuff. Sorry, Power Ranger fans.
Or you're welcome.
Yeah, or you're welcome either way. Well, anyway, we want hi, hello, how are you? How you doing? We're checking in.
This is it.
But we want to say hello to anyone supporting us, spreading the good word of Ghost Town. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And you know what? This is a new kind of timely episode, and I'm not gonna get too silly with the Ghost Town government this week.
This week. Only. They get a break this week.
We all get a break this week. We're just going to shout them out.
Love it.
The mayors. And in no particular order, or maybe there is an order. And we want you to fight amongst yourselves. No, we don't want you to do that. Everyone is amazing equally. We got Ashley Matson.
Hello.
Chris Hernandez.
Hello.
Marissa Rothermel.
Hello.
Kelly Meehan.
Hello.
Casey Weber.
Hello.
Kat Chozelle.
Hi.
And our governor.
Our governor.
Holding it all together for us every single week.
Avian Noble.
If you want no ads, no chit-chat, bonus episodes, 7 days free, just the good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/ghosttownpod. You want to get back into it?
Let's do it. On April 8th, 2025, California Highway Patrol officers pursued 3 suspects who had fled the scene of a misdemeanor hit and run on the Ventura Freeway. At 3:25 p.m., they radioed for backup when the suspects fled to Figueroa Street in the Eagle Rock neighborhood of Los Angeles. One of the suspects was seen on the 5300 block of Waldo Place, the quiet cul-de-sac where 51-year-old Jillian Lauren lived. When officers reached the backyard of a neighboring house, they saw Lauren holding a 9mm handgun pointed towards the police. After numerous warnings to drop the gun, LAPD shot Lauren in the shoulder as she fled back into her home. Aerial footage captured by KTLA's news choppers then showed an injured Lauren walking down her driveway with her hands in the air to surrender to police. She then lay face down on the ground before being handcuffed. She was then taken to the hospital by the fire department after leaving her home. After that, Lauren was taken into custody booking on suspicion of attempted murder of a peace officer, LAPD spokesman Jennifer Forkish said in a statement to The Times. Quote, "Our investigation revealed evidence such as a shell casing and video footage showing the repeatedly ignored police commands to disarm and that she fired her weapon at LAPD officers," Forkish said. Lauren's manager, Charlie Fusco, said he had no comment. This news hit the internet. Of course, everyone was shocked, wondering what was going on with Jillian Lauren. Was it a cover-up? A murder conspiracy? Did she have some kind of mental illness? Or was she just trying to protect herself, her home, and her family? Lauren was released from custody around 10 p.m. Wednesday, April 9th, after posting a $1 million bail, and is scheduled to appear in court on April 30th, according to Los Angeles jail records. Police said officers later determined that she was just a resident at her home and not involved whatsoever in the hit and run. Highway Patrol eventually arrested the suspected hit and run driver very close to where Lauren was shot. The man, whose identity is still protected, was found wearing nothing but his boxers in the backyard of a home in Eagle Rock. The man was seen by news helicopters taking off his clothes, jumping into the pool, and watering the plants in what appeared to be an attempt to blend into the neighborhood. While the case, all of it, appeared to be wrapping up, many questions remained, especially considering Weezer, Lauren's husband's band, would still be performing at Coachella on April 12th. Speaking to the New York Post outside of his home on April 10th, Schreiner shared an update on his wife. Quote, "She's all right, thanks for asking," the 59-year-old said while walking his 4 dogs, adding, "See you at Coachella." Beyond that, we'll likely learn more about Lauren's motivation and state of mind at her court appearance. Until then, I think we can all agree that the writer's life is not only a tale of adventure, art, intrigue, perseverance, and expression, but one that continues to intrigue and is ever unfolding.
Hey, you know what would make your customer service help desk way better? Dumping it and then switching to Intercom. But you're not quite ready to make that change. We get it. That's why Finn, the world's leading AI customer service agent, is now available on every help desk. Finn can instantly resolve up to 80% of your tickets, which makes your customers happier and gets you off the customer service rep hiring treadmill. Finn by Intercom, the leading customer service AI agent, now available on every help desk.
Under Biden, Americans' cost of living skyrocketed. Food, housing, auto insurance. Lawsuit abuse is a big reason everything's more expensive today. Frivolous lawsuits cost working Americans over $4,000 a year in hidden taxes. President Trump understands the problem. That's why he supports loser pays legislation to stop lawsuit abuse and put thousands back in the pockets of hardworking Americans. It's time to make America affordable again. It's time to support the president's plan.
Omaha Steaks makes it easy to keep great food on hand, so dinner time is simple and convenient. And right now, you can get 12 free burgers and free shipping for life when you shop at omahasteaks.com/onrepeat. At Omaha Steaks, you're in control. Order once or set up recurring shipments for more savings, more convenience, and inflation-proof pricing. Visit omahasteaks.com/onrepeat to get started today and get 12 free burgers and free shipping for life. Minimum purchase may apply. See site for details.